What-o, said a ting. How are you doing, you lot out there? Gosh, I guess you are now the proud owners of the very first little box set of the re-released singles from Iron Maiden. Well, I've got to say this. Welcome to Not a Lot of People Know That Part 1. Because here, I'm about to tell you a few stories now and in the next 9 releases of this here box sets over the next period of the next 10 weeks. Now, look here. First of all, my goodness, it's 10 years, almost to the day. Little chickadees out there. Oh, you've got your grubby little hands on Running Free, Burning Ambition. Oh, gosh, the very first single, Sanctuary and Drifter and I've Got the Fire. The second single, gosh. The first one was released, as I said, almost 10 years to the very day on February the 8th, 1980. God, dear. Here, I'll tell you something, right? You know Harry Harris, right? He had a band called Gypsy's Kiss. He's disgusting, isn't he? You know what that rhymes with, don't you? Well, if you don't, I'm not going to tell you anyway, so there. He had this song called Burning Ambition, which I suppose was a real sort of drive for Harry then, because he was, full of ambition to get his music out and play it to people, and he had this song, and he was in this band, Gypsy's Kiss. Well, they were, because they couldn't handle this song. And they turned around and said, Harry, all these chord changes and time changes is he's famous for. I should know, come on, give us a break. So he took the song to the band and they've gone, oi, Harry, Gypsy's Kiss off, will you? I can't play that. And he said, oi, I've had enough of this and I'm going to go and find some people that can. So, kiss you and all. So anyway, that's what he did. Not kiss them. No, he did the other thing, what it rhymes with. Off. Oh, I'll say he pissed off. So there you go. Whatever. Now, he went out and he formed a band and Burning Ambition was actually recorded late in 1979 and originally featured the original drummer, in fact, I think there was one guy before him, but Doug Sampson was on drums in those days. Dave double-tracked on guitars. I mean, he double-tracked and all. He doesn't have to, though, does he? You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, Running Free as well was also the first artwork from Riggsy. Now, I tell people I'm actually from another planet, because I'm a bit off the wall. Well, I'll tell you, this boy owns the other planet. My goodness. No, God bless him, he's a diamond guy. I love him. What an artist. He first brought Eddie into the first sleeve on the Running Free single. And Eddie, if you remember rightly, was standing in the shadows. You never really saw him. But, oh, my goodness, he brought him out, didn't he? On the first album, all in his glory and splendour, Eddie comes out and goes, yeah, I'm here. So watch out, folks. Well, there, what can you say about it? Running Free, it's a song the band still to this day play. It's one of the truly great Iron Maiden songs. I mean, not only just because it was the first single, but what a crack. Now then, well, we've gone through that and Burning Ambition, as we talked about. On the other side, we've got Sanctuary, on the other single, rather, we've got Sanctuary, Drift Alive, and I've Got the Fire, old Montrose song. Well, this was the first top 30 entry, actually. It made number 29. And, the boys were really happy. It was released 23rd of May 1980. God, dearie me, there's a couple within a few months of one another. You lucky boys and girls. Well, as I said, you got one every week for 10 weeks coming out here. Oh well. This was recorded, by the way, the live Drifter, and I've Got the Fire, was recorded at the Marquee in April 1980. And that was a good year. I got a good drop of wine at home made in 1980. Yeah, it's still got half a bottle left. It's really good. I've Got the Fire. It's an old Montrose song, as I said, and Steve liked this, so he recorded it live. And it used to be the set opener for the band in those days. But on the back of that, they kind of got into the deal of like not recording sort of Iron Maiden songs on the B-sides. This was one of the beginnings of when B-sides were other people's songs that the band decided to play. Anyway, around this time, they didn't get a top of the pops, rotten buggers. Well, we all know why. It's a bleeding BBC, innit? Well, we'll work out some sort of abbreviation for that later on. But anyway, they couldn't get on because there was some industry action, strikes and all that good stuff. You know, what the BBC usually like to do. He moved a broom. Well, is he a labourer? No, he damn well ain't. Well, that's it. We're going on strike. Put your teacups up to your face, lads. Let's go up to the canteen and have another drink. You know, whatever. Well, what can you say? Strikes all around. So the boys didn't get to play Top of the Pops. That's no biggie, you know. They never played a band anyway, do they? Poxy, BBC, crikey. Anyway, funny enough, around this time, it was the very first gig I ever did with Iron Maiden. No, not actually playing with them, like as a band, a full band. I played in a band called McKitty. And these guys, in McKitty, a guy called Donovan McKitty and myself, we did a gig in Belgium. And it was in fact... Not a lot of people know this, but it was in fact Maiden's very first European gig. How about that? And I was there. So there. Stuff that up your kin pipe and smoke it, right? So there you go. I was really privileged to be there, and that's when I really first met the band, and we got on so well. We had such a riot. What can I say? Anyway, then you remember the Sanctuary sleeve, you lot? Yeah, was it Maggie Thatcher? Whoa, can you believe it? She was there. You know what she was trying to do? Stupid cow. She was trying to pull down an Iron Maiden poster off the wall. Well, what can you say about that? Not a lot, believe me. She was, I don't know why they called her the Iron Maiden, do you? Nothing like this. I know why. Maybe because she's like Eddie. Listen. By the way, I've got to tell you this. We'll stop real quick, all right? I mean, I'm running out of time on this one, but nevertheless. You remember Eddie, right? Well, because you remember Eddie. Well, this is the origin of Eddie, right? The band used to have this backdrop which featured a theatrical mast, and it sort of spat out all this red dye and smoke and all that gobbing stuff, and there's poor old Clive sitting under it, getting gobbed on every night. Oi, what's all this is going? What's all this red, all this shit coming over my head? I've had enough of that. Paint, anything you could find. Anything they could find, they sling in it. Anyway, when they called him Eddie the Head, see? And it's after an old East End joke which goes as follows. Yeah, Eddie was very unfortunate. He was born without a body. So nevertheless, his parents loved him dearly and took him home and placed him on a mantelpiece one day. Well, his family gave him lots of love and attention, and he always got loads of presents on his birthday, kind of blowing things and hats and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, one year he was about 16. And the hospital phoned up Eddie's parents, and they said to him, look, due to modern technology and all those good things that we can do with, all this stuff nowadays, we are now able to build Eddie a body. So, with this, the whole parents were so excited, they couldn't believe it. And they couldn't wait to tell Eddie, I mean, this is it, Eddie's going to have a body. However, as it was close to his birthday, they decided to tell the doctors to go ahead and build his body. And then they would surprise him. And, it weren't far away from his birthday. I thought, well, good birthday present. So anyway, a few weeks later, the big day arrived. Yes, Eddie's birthday. So his parents goes up to him. And I walk up to the mantelpiece. I said, hello, Eddie. How you doing? This year is going to be the best birthday yet. Have we got something for you? Such a wonderful present. His mum's gone, oh, goodness, Eddie, we're so pleased. And Eddie's gone, oh, no, said Eddie, not another fucking hat. Oh, I think it's funny. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good, isn't it? Anyway, after this, Derek came up with this, the creature, or Eddie and the body and that on the record covers. And the name was just carried over, and the rest is history, isn't it? And Eddie's out there. Yeah, he's got to have a bit of nookie before long. That's all I can say. Righto, Nicko here, Rebecca and the Bubbly. Or should I say, we ain't. Now look, if you want to leave your name and your number, and then again if you don't want to leave your name and your number, it's up to you. Please do so after the proverbial tone. What? Well, welcome once again to the Not A Lot of People Know That Part 2, or in other words, Nick's verbal diarrhea for the second time running. You lucky lot, now you're out there holding in your sweaty palms and all them grubby little fingers and hands are holding, the second re-release singles box set From Iron Maiden, the second week's Now We're Running, Now We're Onto a Cruise. Women in Uniform, you've just listened to it. Invasion, you've just listened to it. Phantom of the Opera, you just listened to it. Oh, and Twilight Zone and Rothschild, both Harry Harris, Bomber Harris compositions of the most outstandingly stunning performances. Marvellous. Well, look here. Woman in Uniform. Now then, Harry, you slipped up there. Listen, don't tell him, but you know it wasn't a song written by Harry, see? Well, he knows that anyway, doesn't he? Right, anyway, Woman in Uniform, written by the McCainch brothers. I think I pronounced that right, lads, if you're listening. Well, too fucking bad if I ain't. I'm very sorry, but anyway, nevertheless. Aussie band, Skyhooks, I believe they were called, the name of the band. First originally recorded this Woman in Uniform. Boys decided to do it. Released this single, 27th of October, 1980. And, well, great song. You know, good song and all that. As I say, you've got Invasion and Phantom of the Opera live. My goodness, aren't you lucky people? Gosh, I don't even have this stuff at home. You know what? I'll tell you, one of the reasons that we're releasing all these bits and pieces through EMI, not only to celebrate 10 years with such a great company as EMI, but not a lot of us have got a complete set of their singles and all that stuff, so it's really just so we can get the whole collection going. Yeah, so anyway. Nevertheless, right, now Mike Kenny made his debut in the video as Eddie, I do believe, on the very first promo video. Well, I'd say the first promo, the Invasion video, was the first rock promo, one of the first rock promos by a British rock band. I suppose that if you think Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody was close to that, you know, I think they were probably the very first band. But it was quite visionary if you think of the importance of videos now. You get it? Quite vision. Yeah, all right, okay, we'll cut the crap and get on with it. All right. So, there you go. First time the band's ever released an A-side by somebody else. And, yeah, that's cool. And, by the way, Invasion was part of the band's, the stage set that the boys used to use in the late 70s. And originally, it was released on the Soundhouse tapes. We all know about the Soundhouse tapes. Take that if you don't. I'll give you... I do want to hit it so hard. Anyway, Invasion, yeah, was on the Soundhouse tapes, and Steve and the guys decided to record a proper studio version of this song. So that's why that was redone, basically. And Phantom was recorded at the Marquee in July 1980. Oh, yes, the poor you lucky maidenettes and maiden guys and all that out there. 4 dates in 1 week to wind up their summer UK tour, 1980. Can you remember that? What a great time. Did Top of the Pops live again, by the way, and the guys did a sound check. This is not a lot of people know this, and they did a sound check in the afternoon. And a minute before the performance, the sound monitoring engineer turned around and says, "I'm not going to have this. You're too loud. We're going to turn it down." And they messed around with all the twiddly knobs and everything on the desk, right? And it totally poxed it all up. So the boys vowed never to play. I said Top of the Pops, didn't I? Well, you know that company that on the last thing I was trying to think of an abbreviation for, right? Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, it's the Bleeding Bodge Up Company. That's what it is, and that's what they done to them. So it's only videos now, and that's it. Boom. So you lucky lot. Ooh, Twilight Zone and Rothschild, both, as I said, Harry Harris compositions. Released the 2nd of March, 1981, got to chart position 31. Not bad, eh? Oh, by the way, the Women in Uniform and Invasion and that got to 35. I think I forgot to mention that. If I did mention it, too kin bad, all right? So, Twilight Zone and Rothschild, that was recorded as part of a Killers session at the turn of 80 and 81. Now, Martin, he actually couldn't be there at this particular session, so the boys produced Twilight Zone themselves. Quite clever when you think about it, aren't they? Playing it and producing it at the same time. Amazing. Anyway, so they decided to release this Twilight Zone on the Killers album. And so the boys and Rod sent a telex over to Japan, see, and explaining all the details of the song. So the Japanese, they're funny lot, aren't they? They took it literally. And the song was printed as Details of Twilight Zone. My goodness, that's a cracker, isn't it? By the way, boys and girls, if you know your trivia, Mr. Adrian Smith joined the band in that particular part of time, didn't he? Yeah, now, Twilight Zone, This happened to be Adrian's first single with the band. Now, not a lot of people will remember that, but then again, probably they would. So I'll stuff it in my pipe and smoke it. H joined the band in September 1980, and as you know, on the back of this, or as it's a double A side, it was Rothschild, and Adrian had to learn Rothschild. It was sort of his part of his audition. You know, he also had to show the boys that he could kick a football and down a pint of beer in 5 seconds. Oh, he managed both of them with no problem. Now, Rothschild, he had to do the business. Well, all I can say is this. He must have done a fucking good job, hasn't he? Eh? Because he's steaming, and he's right there, see? So, not a lot of people knew that either. So anyway, that's H's audition out of the way, and he was all what's happening, and he went out on a tour in 1980 and autumn 80 and 81 and all this. And, well, there you go. And as it happens, as I said, the session that they did with the Twilight Zone and Rothschild came out so well that they released it as a double A. And by the way, as we're talking about musicians, I've got a joke for you. I'm not going to like it very much, but you might, all right? So here it is. What do you call somebody that hangs around with musicians? Oh, no, not that one, surely. All right, a bloody drummer, all right? Now I've said it. And now all the boys are happy I've got that one out the way. Thanks a lot, Rod. There you go. Oh, by the way, I was in a band called Trust around that period of time, and in fact, the boys, we came out with Iron Maiden on their Killers tour of Great Britain, and not a lot of people know that either. But we had a great time. We did about 3.5 weeks with the band, and we had a serious. It was great. Well, what can I say? Not a lot anymore. I think I've just about covered all that one. So I'm going down the pub to have a beer. Ta-da!
You have reached the McBrain residence. Now look, don't mess around. You paid for the phone call. Use it. Leave your name, your number, all that good mumbo jumbo, and we'll get right back to you after the tone. Bye!
Nicko, wake up.
Oh, fucking hell! What you doing? Let me go to sleep now. Yeah. Did you say the tape's rolling? Well, look here. I can't go to sleep in the studio. Time costs money, don't it? You know what I mean? That's what she said last night. Yeah, she cleaned me out, she did, I'll tell you. Don't tell the wife, though. Oh, we'll be in, proverbial shit creek without the old paddle. Or should I say, without the old pussy. Oh. No nookie for a year. Watch out. Might not even have any nookie ever, because she'll probably chop me head off. Yeah, that's a thought. Got to watch out. Anyway, look here, you. Welcome to Not a Lot of People Knew That, or Know That, or even still don't know it. Notes number 3. Ding! Love it. Purgatory and Genghis Khan are in your proud possession, and you have probably just had an assortment of audible boosting out of those speakers right into your lug holes. And you've also got Killers in Exile, Remember Tomorrow, and Running Free, Maiden, Japan. Released 14th of September 1981, that little lot was. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, Purgatory, eh? Genghis Khan, well, the boys, they only had the only non-top 50 single ever. Where was I? Anyway, well, that's enough of that. Released the 15th of June, Purgatory and Genghis Khan were, or was. And it's just been released again, hasn't it? Because you are the proud owner of it, and you're listening to me again. Oh, no, they say. Oh, dulcet tones down the old. Oh, no, it's Nicko. Well, look here. It's a little bit of trivia for you on this one. I know that not a lot of people know this, because I even didn't know this, and I'll admit this. I did not know this. All right, I'll say it again. I did not know this. Purgatory was originally called Floating. And it was part of Iron Maiden's live show between 76 and 77, would you believe? It was originally played at a very much slower tempo than what it's been played at on past excursions, so to speak. Well, Steve, he likes to play a little bit faster, he does, see. I like that too. And he said to the band, look, I like, I like this song. You like it too, don't you? That's true. Well, they had to, didn't they? And so, anyway, they rearranged it and beefed it up for the Killers album. And C'est la vie, or As It Is, C'est quoi, or Say What, there it is. Purgatory. As it happens, at the right tempo, boom. Love it. Because Steve, there's certain songs that are written, we'll get onto that later on. It's a little story, I'll tell you about that too. But there you go. Genghis Khan, that was a sort of a fill-in song, if you like. It was written at short notice. That's why it's a short song. Stupid idiot. Maiden discovered they were short of a song on a Killers album, so they sat down and sort of went, here, let's think of something. And it was given a working title of Jenkins Barn. God knows why. Genghis Khan, Jenkins Barn. I suppose it rhymes, didn't it? Anyway, I don't know, soppy sod, works in mysterious ways, this music business, doesn't it? Anyway, the sleeve for the Purgatory single was originally the Number of the Beast album artwork. And the band decided, well, it was too good to keep for the, too good to keep. It was best, it was too good, so they wanted to keep it. Oh, wake up. They wanted to keep it for the next album. God, that hurt. Dave, what did you do that for, man? Anyway, they wanted to keep it for the next album because it fitted perfectly with the old knob. Well, now, look, let's rephrase that. Knob being an abbreviation for Number of the Beast. Now, we'll get into that later on, all right? So, Number of the Beast, yes. And it filled, Steve had this song, and we thought, yeah, we'll keep this artwork for the album. So, Derek did a new Eddie, and he did the Eddie Devil sleeve for the single, which you all know, which you're standing looking at, or sitting looking at, or lying on the floor, or on top of your missus, or she's on top of you looking at it, or I don't know what you're doing, but you're having it in your hand, aren't you? No, the sleeve, silly. The sleeve. Right. That, as I said, it didn't make the top. It didn't get over 50. It got to chart position 52. As I said, where was I? Phew, would have been up number one. Never mind. Jesus. Anyway, Maiden Japan. What can you say about this? This actually was recorded on the band's very first Japanese tour. And the actual Japanese version of this record was titled Heavy Metal Army. And there was no equivalent words in the Japanese language for Maiden Japan. I would have thought they should have just said it Maiden Japan and called it that. Well, nevertheless. This was the last Maiden release to feature Paul Di'Anno. As we know, what a great singer. He was with the band for quite a few years, quite a number of years, a few years there. But Paul went on to different pastures, green and blue and white and yellow, whatever they were. But anyway, by the way, on a Japanese sleeve, it said, pray round. Jesus, pray round. It don't take a degree in English science to work that one out, does it? Eh? Does it? What do you mean, what does it mean? Pray round. Right, that's enough of that. Anyway, by the way, Rod took all the photographs for this band, for this single, the single, all the live shots for the Made in Japan. And he went down the old duty-free racket market, like, give me money, finger me bobs, and you can have this. So anyway, he bought a Canon camera on the cheap, as usual. And actually, this is definitely where Ross got his inspiration from. I mean, what can I say? Rod actually astounded the photo world with his prowess behind the lens. What a cracker. Anyway, by the way, one little point. This got to number 43 in the charts, this Made in Japan. Released 14th of September 1981. And again, if I said it already, too fucking bad. Now, oh yes, this is a joke for you. If the answer to the question is my cock wobbling, what's the question? What's that in my arse, Batman?
It's me. You know who this is because you phoned me, don't you? And Sweet Pea's not here, the Bubbly's not here, or he'd have answered the phone, wouldn't he? Now look, leave your name, your number, and all that good stuff, and maybe we'll see you in purgatory, or then again we won't. So leave your name, your number, and all that good stuff again after the tone. Bye.
What? Oh, said a ting. I'm back. You thought you got away with it, didn't you? But you didn't. No, not on your fourth little box set of Run to the Hills, Total Eclipse, Number of the Beast to Remember Tomorrow Live. Box number 4. Do you like it so far? What a great set of singles and all that good stuff, and original artwork and all that good stuff. Well, you are again the proud owner of number 4, Run to the Hills Total Eclipse, released the 12th of February 1982, and welcome once again to not a lot of people know that. Oh dear, it's getting worse, isn't it? Well, I have been in here for 2 or 3 days, and they won't let me out. No, they've left me stuck in this here studio, and what can I do but mumble on and jumble on and get the words back to front and front to back and all that good stuff. Run to the Hills, chart position number 7. Got there. Released 12th of February 1982. If I said that already, too fucking bad. It was first released, as I said, whenever it was, featuring Bruce on vocals. Now, Bruce had joined the band in September 81, and if you think about it, it's almost to the day, a year after Adrian joined, September 1980. It was the band's first single, as it happens, to reach the top 10. Yeah, great. Well, what can you say about that? Thank you, guys, and fans and girls, guys and girls, all the people out there that bought that. I mean, got it at number 7. And also, it was one of the favourites of you guys and the fans. When we play it, it's great. We start off and Bruce introduces the song, and everyone's right there with us to know the words and sing along, as you do with a lot of our songs. But I think that definitely because it was such a popular first top 10 single as well, such a popular song. Also, the video for Run to the Hills was the outtakes. You remember the bit with the Indians there, and he's sitting on a penny farthing, and they're all getting shot with a bow, and a guy with about 6 million arrows hanging out of his hat, and then the guy goes and gets scalped, and the geezer goes up behind the Indian. Oh no, the Indian goes up behind the guy, right? Oh yeah, I got it right that time. And he scalps him, and he pulls his hair off, and he's got a bloody toupee on his butt. He's got no hair. He's got a bald head. And the guy. Oh, I think they're really great. Well, that's Buster Keaton movie, actually. But Buster, they couldn't show him because they'd have got copyright problems and all that. And it was also, fun enough, a big MTV favourite. Now, music television was released over in the United States before we got it on cable or satellite, which is now happening in England. And this was in the days when they had some serious... they had some good taste, these guys. I mean, they were playing rock and roll, and there was heavy metal. Now, they're just like, what's that? They have a lot, the Bleeding Bodge-Up Company. I'll find an abbreviation for the MTV mob. Don't you worry, have no frigging fear. I shall get there. Now, there you go. Brilliant success. Great story. Now, moving on to the other single in the set, you've got Number of the Beast, haven't you? Well, if you haven't, there's a mistake. Get onto EMI and have a word. Slap him round the back of the head like that for an opener. Or you punch in the chops to be good. Number of the Beast. Harry Harris composition again. Remember Tomorrow Live. Harry Harris and Paul Iano. Chart position 18 it's got to. That was released on 26th of April 1982. And it was off of the album of the same name. Number of the Beast. All right? You got that? Right. You know what I said earlier on as well, and I think it was... not a lot of people know that part 3, or it might have even been part 2. I don't know. I can't really remember. It was too many days ago. I told you they kept me in here for a few days. It is released off of this album of the same name. And when they were recording the album, which is at Battery Studio in London, Mr. Martin Birch had a car crash. And all the old equipment in the studio kept breaking down. All these kind of things were going on. But after he got the bill presented to him for the accident that he'd had, his car, the damage bill was 666 quid, 66p. No, on my life, I am not pulling the dinger. I am telling you, this is God's honest truth. Well, after the release of the album, the band were branded as Satanists, only to boot. What a bunch of prats. I mean, these people have no idea. They've got their noses stuck up there, probably up each other's bum, or whatever. Anyway, it's all about Steve having a nightmare. I mean, he has them pretty often, poor guy, I mean, I pity the wife. God, Steve, what's the matter? Oh, God, he's coming for me. Oh, Eddie, get away. Poor old lol. Never mind. Anyway, it's horrible, no. You can't make fun of nightmares. No, they're not very nice things to have. But Steve had a nightmare, and what could actually happen if you got involved with all the sort of Satanist stuff and getting into all that mumbo-jumbo and all that mean gear. Well, here you go. So, basically, that was his inspiration to the song, and out of that came Knob, and out of Knob came the album. Wonder what the wife looked like. Jesus. I don't know. It's my sense of humour. You probably don't understand. I don't care anyway. Anyway, by the way, the video was shot at the Newcastle City Hall. And Rod and the boys asked the local radio station to ask for ballroom dancers to come up and feature in the video. They did. Phew, pretty good, wasn't it? By the way, it was I was still with Trust at that time, and we actually did a 10 or 12 date, I think it was 10 dates of a European tour with Maiden on the Number of the Beast tour when they were in Europe. And just so after this, a couple of months after this period of time on the tour, the band did a Belgium TV show. And this was, in fact, my very, very, very first performance with Iron Maiden. Not a lot of people know that. And we played Number of the Beast, I guess it was. I think it was Killers and Run to the Hills. Something like that. I might have been wrong. And then again, too bad if I am. So what you going to do about it? Take that. So, sorry, Dave. Oh, gosh. Oh, my microphone. Anyway, Remember Tomorrow. Well, this was recorded in Italy. Well, you can remember tomorrow if you like. I can't even remember yesterday. Or even today. So, it's up to you. Anyway, Remember Tomorrow was recorded in Italy during Bruce's very first live dates with Maiden. And they went out there to do some gigs with Bruce to break him in, so to speak. He fell into a vat of starch the night before. Dear me. Oh, God. And he did a few dates before the small UK tour at the end of 1981, and that's where Remember Tomorrow was recorded. That's why, hence, it's Remember Tomorrow live. And as I say, it's got a chart position 18, released 26th of April. Good stuff. Anyway, by the way, I've got to go. So look, if I don't see you in the spring, which ain't too far away, right, I'll see you in a mattress. Toodaloo. Bye.
Look here, I wanted to leave Knob on this as the opening intro music when some bastard stole it. Oh, cop that. Leave your name, your number, all that mumbo-jumbo and wishy-washy shit, and maybe we might get back to you, but then again, we might not. So, leave your name, number, and after the frigging tone. Goodbye.
Not a lot of people. What-o? Said a ting. Welcome to Not a Lot of People Know That, Part 5. Yes, you lot out there, are you so lucky again? How can you be getting so lucky, my God? Fly the vigorous in those grubby, dirty by now, horribly sticky little fingers and hands and grubby palms. And all what else is grubby, I don't know. Fly the vigorous, I've got the fire. Ooh, I have right now thinking about this. Oh, my goodness, the memories for this. My very first exotic jaunt over to the island of Jersey, followed by a swift little aeroplane ride 3,000 kilometres due east of... got that wrong. Due west of Watford. My goodness, I got the wrong way. I'm going to bleed in Russia. That'd be all over. Yes, due west of Watford, 3,000 odd bloody miles. Forget this kilometre stuff. Where do you think you are? Bleeding France? No, thanks very much. I'm right here. Anyway, fly the vigorous. Do. Flight of Icarus. My first single, released the 11th of April 1983, chart position number 11. Didn't quite get a number 10, did it? Anyway, my first record with a band. I starred in the video. Did you see that? Did you see that handsome geezer with the blue chops? It wasn't half cold out there. Anyway, no, we did this. Oh, fantastic. First trip to from Jersey to NASA to do the album. We had 5 weeks rehearsal in Jersey. Well, we had 2 weeks, really, because we ended up 3 weeks partying at the bar. My goodness, we had the only 24-hour bar on the island. And funnily enough, we managed to cram 25 hours in a day. So, there we are. 15 days before we're supposed to leave. 15 days. We hadn't even written any. Well, the boys had written something. We really hadn't rehearsed anything because we was partying too much and having a good time and all that good stuff. So there you are. We get this. Most of the songs written. Get to Jersey. Boom. Oh, by the way, when we first arrived in Jersey, the first place we went to was a place called the Traveller's Rest. Dear Tony Wiggins, our tour manager, he told us all about this place because he checked it out before us. He said, here, look, you've got to come in this place before we go. He said, the first thing we did, got off the plane, picked the suitcase up. Hello, they said, how are you? We're fine. Okay, you can come through. So we go through, get in the cabs. Off we go. Traveller's Rest. Stopped in the Traveller's Rest. You've got to have a banana daiquiri, says Tony Wiggins. We know, all right, let's have a drink. Have a banana. Which is banana, Jay. A puff drink. So, fair enough. So there we are. We sit at the bar, and there's 5 puffs sitting at the bar. Us. Drinking these daiquiris. No. So, when first one goes down, we thought, fucking great. Nothing to it. Let's have another one. Fucking second one goes down. 15 minutes later, we're on a 3rd banana daiquiri. Now, we're talking serious alcohol here, but you don't taste it because it's a frozen drink. It's bunged in a blender, loads of ice, Todd Hunter's banana liqueur, banana out of the tree, and lots of whizzing about the various parts, and it's stick in a glass and stuff it up with a straw. For about 3 of these, as I said later, quarter of an hour goes by, half an hour, we try to stand up and leave. I mean, it was like, where are we going? We were gone. Man, we spent many a night down that place, but only after. Oh, we did have a party after we actually recorded Flight of Icarus. We went out down the pub and tried to get it together. The next day, it weren't happening. But we went after we celebrated. We went out and celebrated the first single being we recorded it. But just before we did this, before we recorded the song, Steve said to me, he said, I think we ought to speed it up a bit. I said, yeah, I think it should be a bit fast. And Dave and H Bruce and H, had written this song. And they were like very adamant about the tempo of this thing. They didn't want it sort of speeding up or anything like this. So I said, yeah, let's play it a bit faster. I said, yeah. So I said, no, on that, sit up, don't worry. So we get in the studio, we rehearsed it. We've done it once or twice, and it was, happening, but not. So I thought, I'll boost it up a tad. I'll pump it, So I'm out there, boom, out we go. Kiss back in the gym. And Bruce, Dave and H going, Nick, what are you doing? I said, nothing. And I thought to myself, oh, there we go, the new boy in the band. And I think, he's only been in a band for 2 months, and here he's speeding everything up, Anyway, as it turned out, it's great, wasn't it? It was a really good song. So they asked me to do the video. So out we are, and I said, they said, look, do you want to do the video? You'll be the old man in it. I said, the old man? Look at who you think you're talking to, old man. Give us a break. They said, well, you are, aren't you? Fucking cheek. Do a swift kick up the jack seat with that. Right, they get the bump and that. So there I am. I'm out there. They said, yeah. I said, all right, I'll do the video. And they said, yeah, but we got to blue your chops. I said, what? I said, we got to put blue makeup on your face. I said, you can piss off. I ain't having none of that. They said, you fucking will if you want to star in the video. Yeah, so there. You want to do it or not? I thought, well, I'm the new boy and I should do it, really. I'll be a bit fun. And it was. It turned out to be the most amazing fun, I tell you. We really had a good time. A couple of dodgy moments when I was standing on the edge of this little cliff looking down at looking out to the ocean. The wind was blowing. No, the wind. I was as well, actually, but nevertheless. I was kind of had a look. It was about 60 feet down to the ocean. Fucking great big waves rolling in there. I only need to fall over and that was it. Goodbye. No Nicko to help me out with the wings, Come on, Dad, watch this. Anyway, that leads me on to I've Got the Fire, which is on the B-side, as you know, of Flight of Icarus. Now, For you boys and girls out there who've been paying attention and doing your own work and buying the first, second, third and fourth box set of the new singles, etc., or the old new singles, I've Got the Fire was recorded on the very, very first Maiden single, which was Running Free. And now, we've already talked about that. But the boys decided to do it. Steve said, look, I'd like to have the definitive version of this, studio version-wise. Let's do it again. So that's why we banged that on the Icarus single. Now, moving on slowly but surely to The Trooper. Now, that's a great old... Oh, man, that's a song to play, man. Oh, that. Yeah, gosh. Bringing back some... I want to get out and do it. Based on a charge of the Light Brigade. Watch out. My goodness. Whoa. Never has there been so many to fight so few, or whatever. I don't know. That was Winnie, wasn't it? The wrong one. Ace's Eye, that's coming up next, kids. Yeah, well, it's, it's in the next box set. If you go out and buy it, you'll hear it on the next Nicko's. You didn't know, not a lot of people knew that, right? Number 6, I guess it will be then. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, I remember. What was it? Into the Valley of Death rode the however many it was. That was what I was trying to think of, and I got the Winnie quote round the wrong way. Nevertheless, yes, great song. Cross-Eyed Mary. Ian Anderson wrote this song. Jethro Tull played it. We recorded it. The B-side. Did I tell you it was released the 20th of June 1983? Chart position 12. Well, if I told you that once already, too bad. So what? See? We'll get that one in. And as a matter of fact, the Cross-Eyed Mary received, ultimates, loads of, and insies and outsies of US airplay. I tell you, this was one of the biggest, the song to be played the most on US airplay from Iron Maiden. And that funny. It's the best one they ever, that they ever played. Well, as Esther Ransom would say, that's skin life, isn't it? Oh, by the way, just before I sign off, because I've got to go now, there's a beer waiting for me down the road on the bar, so I thought I'd better go in and have myself a little liquid libation, being I'm halfway through these little box sets here. Did you hear one about the queer shepherd? No? Well, he kept mounting goats. It's stupid, isn't it? I love it, though. Oh, gosh. Okay, take care of yourselves. See you later, all right? Bye.
Well, hello. You've reached the McBrain residence. Yeah? If you don't give me a piece of your mind on this here tape, I shall come round there and lay you down without a tear, and I'll draw your last parting groan from you, inch by inch. Do you hear me? So leave your name, your number, and I'll call you back, or Sweepy, or even the Bubbly will. So get to it after the tone, okay? Right, I should think so too.